Hi everyone, my name is Akua and I am a fellow attorney with the Commons Law Center, a nonprofit law firm based in Oregon. If you have a legal problem in Oregon and are worried that asking a lawyer for help is going to be too expensive, please go to www.thecommonslawcenter.org to access our library of free legal guides and videos, and to see if you qualify for our unbundled and reduced fee services. Before we get started, this video is legal information, not legal advice. I am not your lawyer. Today, I am going to briefly go over why having a will is important for you and your family. So let's talk about why you probably need a will, even if you're unsure. I'm sure most of us have heard the term, but what exactly is a will? A will is a legal document that becomes effective only when someone dies. It explains who will be in charge of your estate, how your final expenses will be paid, and who will inherit your property and assets after your death. Now, why is having a will important? If a person dies with a will in place, it is known as dying testate. If a person dies without a will, they are considered to have died intestate. When a person dies intestate, their property will pass by Oregon intestate laws. These laws may or may not mirror how you would have liked your property to be distributed, which is why it is always better to have a will. Wills serve two very important purposes. The first reason for having a will is that it allows you to leave your assets to whomever you want, in the way you want when you die. Wills serve two very important purposes. The first reason for having a will is that it allows you to leave your assets to whomever you want, in the way you want when you die. The second benefit to creating a will is that it allows you to name a guardian to care for your kids if they are minors when you pass away. Even if you do not have any assets to plan for, naming a guardian is one of the most important reasons that a parent would still need to have a will. Who is in charge of your will when you die? In your will, you will name a personal representative, also commonly known as an executor or administrator. The personal representative is responsible for carrying out your last wishes stated in your will and making sure that your final affairs are taken care of. Another common question is, does a will avoid probate? Short answer, no. Having a will does not help you avoid probate, but having a will can make the process easier for your loved ones. What is probate? Probate is a formal court process that notifies potential creditors and heirs of your death, confirms that your debts and final expenses are paid, and transfers title or ownership of your assets. Leaving a will avoids the process of the court having to locate your heirs, also reducing the time and cost of probate. A helpful way to make the probate process less complicated is to know the difference between probate and non-probate assets. Probate assets are required to pass through probate court and be distributed according to your will. Remember, if there is no will, the courts distribute according to intestate laws. Examples of probate assets include real estate and bank accounts that are held in your name alone. Unless you take specific action while you are alive to direct that those assets transfer automatically after you die, the courts will have to take additional time to appoint a personal representative to handle your affairs. Non-probate assets include life insurance policies and jointly held assets. Those assets pass directly to the surviving joint owner or to the named beneficiary. A will does not control these assets. So, in closing, you probably need a will. Creating a will can reduce the cost of probate and the burden to your family. A will is not just meant for elderly or wealthy people, and people who don't have lots of money or property are the ones who can least afford the cost of dying without a will. I realize that talking about planning for death is uncomfortable and can be emotional. However, lack of estate planning can cause strain on everyone left behind to pick up the pieces. Loved ones are left scrambling to pick up documents and go through the probate process while trying to cope with their grief. With that taken into consideration, it's easy to see why it's important to bring up the topic of creating a will. Thank you for watching. You are welcome to ask questions or share feedback about the video. If it doesn't make sense, we'd love to hear from you. You are who we made it for. Thank you and take good care.